Class 1A is ready to roll into the postseason. Today, I will be bringing you guys the final IA football, power rankings before we head into bracket play. Again, this will be the final rankings until the end of the season. After the state championship, obviously, we'll drop the final power rankings, but this will be it until then. But don't worry, you will be seeing me more and more because I've got postseason content coming your way. Hopefully, middle of this week, predicting round one pod matchups this Friday. So if you're wanting that type of stuff, if you're wanting me to go game by game, predict who we think is going to win, pick some upsets, and tell you what we're thinking, be sure to like this video so that we know. And nevertheless, we are excited for the postseason, and Class 1A going to be a ton of fun. And it's one of those classes where anything can happen. We've got some teams at the top that are kind of separating themselves, but I see some teams at the bottom of our power rankings that are, our middle of the pack groups that I could see making some noise and causing some havoc in the bracket. So without further ado, let's get to your guys' final top 16 for about a month. Starting at number 16, AHSTW. They beat Shenandoah 50-7 to grab the final spot in our rankings at the number 16 spot. And at number 15, moving down 9 spots after a tough loss to Regina Catholic, is Wilton. Nevertheless, just one loss on the year for Wilton, and they do have that nice win over West Branch. So Wilton's off to the postseason, obviously, and they're in a good spot nevertheless. At number 14, Columbus Catholic. They move up 1 spot after beating South Hardin 19-6. And Trainer, they also move up 1 spot after beating Missouri Valley 59-0. At number 12, OABCIG, they hold down the same spot as last week after a 64-30 win over Lawton Bronson. And West Branch, they moved down 3 spots after a win over Durant. Really nothing they did, just teams ahead of them kind of picking up more impressive victories. But West Branch, nevertheless, they have a win over Regina Catholic in our top 10. So that's kind of a statement win. And then, they've got more losses than most teams, but they've played a really, really tough schedule and played a ton of competitive games to this point. Moving into your guys' top 10 for Class 1A, though, and we've got a new face at number 10. It's Emmitsburg. They make your debut in our polls. After starting at 0-2, the E-Hawks have rattled off 5 wins, all by at least 25 points, thanks to a prime run game. You might question the quality of wins, but nevertheless, they're worth watching, and they're picking up victories with the teams put in front of them as of late. At number 9, South Hamilton. They've been slipping in and out of the top 10 for weeks, but the Eagles finished strong with a 60-13 win over Grandview Christian in the finale. At number 8, Pella Christian. They move up 1 spot. Not much to pull from a 58-34 win over Colfax, but their one loss to Sigourney Keota 42-15 a few weeks ago kind of cost them a better seed in the playoffs. But nevertheless, Pella Christian, they will be in your top 10 heading into the postseason. At number 7, Dike New Hartford. The Wolverines got a gritty 14-8 win over Denver. Truly about the defense here. Ranking is bumped down with a 5-3 record, but a win over Sumner Fredericksburg could make this case as a top 10 team. Again, Dike New Hartford has played a ton of close games. I mean, way back in week 1 even, they played Grundy Center to a 1-point game. So Dike New Hartford, not a team I'd want to see in the playoffs. They play stingy defense. You're not going to be able to put up a ton of points on the Wolverines. Speaking about putting up a ton of points, Regina Catholic, they move up 4 spots. Your team of the week. Wilton was 7-0 heading into Friday, but fell 35-0 to the Regals thanks to another prime performance from quarterback Gentry Dumont. Jackson Naive, probably the best quarterback wide receiver duo in Class A. You could compare, there's multiple, duos up there. Underwood, I think of Garrett Louette and Mason Boothby, but Gentry Dumont, Jackson Naive, really up there, and their stats prove that. Heading into your top 5, though, where we've got a lot of the same teams, just some switch up between the position of them. At number 5, MFL Marmac. A 4-point loss to Sumner Fredericksburg is the only thing that's gone wrong this season, and really not much to read. They kind of dominated in their final regular season game over Central Springs. Moving up a spot, though, is Sigourney Keota. This team is hot. The Cobras, averaging over 70 points the last 2 weeks. They have found a new gear, and kind of everyone needs to worry about them. They've come on really strong as of late, and they've climbed all the way to number 4, and that is where they'll be at heading into the postseason. At number 3, Sumner Fredericksburg, closing out the season with a 47-0 win is huge. Top defenses continue to define the top of this class. Moving into your top 2, and really these are kind of the teams that have separated themselves to this point and really interchangeable, as our ranker says. Grundy Center at the 2 spot. And he even says perhaps the Spartans should be the 1B, considering the 8-0 mark, while Underwood is 7-1. really splitting hairs here, but Underwood's just been a little hotter as of late. Underwood, last time the Eagles allowed a point was October 15th, a clear favorite to win it all, even without that defense. Underwood, like our ranker says, they put up points. They don't let you put up points. They've just been dominant all year long, and they're one slip up to Van Meter all the way back in week 1, a game they were up 14 points in. You know they want that back, and they win that game, and I think they're clear-cut the number 1 team in Class 1A. But, Underwood, Grundy Center, Sumner Fredericksburg, all throwing their names in the hat, and there's some teams at the bottom, like I said, that can make some noise. So that's all I got for Class 1A. Again, if you want postseason content, be sure to like this video so that we know, and I'll catch you Class 1A fans later this week for that stuff.